All right, welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday, beautiful sunny day. We're going to do a little meditation here on resiliency in just a moment. But for those of you who might not know me, my name is Michelle Zellner. I have a wellness business called Better Beings, and that has been my mission for 25 years to help people be better human beings, physically, mentally, and emotionally. I have definitely taught different classes for you all before, and really excited to do this meditation. As I said, it's on resiliency. So I like to get a little conversation going first, just on what you think about resiliency. What are the traits or characteristic of resilient people? What traits or characteristics do you possess that help your resiliency? What are some that maybe if you had a little more of, you would be a little more resilient? Give me an idea, kind of where you are with this. And even if you wanted to just give yourself a score, how resilient of a human do you think you are? Let's go scale of 1 to 10. 1, I don't bounce back from anything ever. 10, I bounce back bigger, stronger, faster than ever before. And you can just send that to me privately in the chat box if you'd like. If you want to share it with everybody, feel free. But I think resiliency is, it's a really great topic, because what I find is people are a lot more resilient than they think they are. And no matter where you are, you definitely have the opportunity to become more resilient. Now, by nature, humans are resilient, because if we weren't, we wouldn't have made it through this long, right? We are always faced with challenges. And that's actually really good. We need to be challenged. That is part of what makes a human thrive. If there is no need to learn or grow or develop new skills, then we don't advance in any kind of way. And usually we don't learn, grow, and develop new skills unless we're forced to, unless we are presented with the opportunity to do that. So thank you for those of you who have shared your score. And again, just be thinking, scale of 1 to 10, how resilient are you? It looks like I have some very resilient people in the class today. So follow-up questions. What are some of those traits that you think you possess that make you resilient? And maybe are there any traits that if you had a little more of it, you would be more resilient? I think about, a kind of a recipe for resiliency, and there are certainly lots of them. I'm always going to start with the foundational elements. How resilient you are physically, mentally, and emotionally, a lot of that has to do is foundationally, how strong are you in the first place? I live by City Park, and we have big, super strong trees, and we have little delicate trees, and then we have like baby flowers that have just sprouted up. Well, clearly the big, super strong trees are going to be more resilient in the face of, let's say, a heavy, wet spring snowstorm than the little baby flowers that just sprouted up, because they're little baby flowers versus big, super strong trees, right? So a human, same. Physically, how strong are you? Mentally and emotionally, do you have grit, determination, perseverance? Are those innate traits that you have? Are those traits that you've built? What about the outlook and the attitude? Do we have the growth mindset, the I can get through it mindset, the positive outlook, the hope and the belief, right? Do we have these things? I mean, these are critical to help us get through challenges. What about flexibility? I think flexibility is a super critical trait for resiliency, right? So we bend, don't break, so that when we have a plan and the plan doesn't go as planned, we are flexible to figure out, oh, what's the new plan? Versus, no, this is the plan and I don't know what to do if my plan doesn't go as planned. Certainly Support. Thank you. Somebody shared that is one of the things that makes them supportive or resilient, right? Having that support system with a significant other, with family members, super important, right? Humans are pack animals. We're designed to be helping others in the pack and to be needing help from others in the pack. So support system, super, super critical. The desire to want and grow, excellent. That's what somebody shared. As a trait they possess as far as being resilient. You know, when I think of resiliency, it truly is the ability to bounce back, to bend, not break, to come through challenges with little to no harm. This doesn't mean we have no challenges. It means I can take on a challenge and I'm going to get through it with little to no permanent damage or significant damage, right? To me, physically, mentally, or emotionally. So the strong foundations are important. And then what we choose to do in the face of the challenge. Now, by design, we are designed to get into some version of fight or flight, right? So these traits of resiliency that are innate in us, some of us have more than others, just by nature. Some of us have developed these traits over the course of time because maybe we've been presented with opportunities to develop them. And we did the hard work in the face of the opportunity. We're all presented with opportunities to grow and learn. We don't always take it. We don't take the opportunity because it's hard. Or maybe we don't feel like we have the capabilities, the skills, the support. Maybe we just don't know what to do because we've never been faced with this before. So as we go through the meditation, I'm going to guide you through, just keep that in mind. I think, again, the foundation of physically, right? Are you giving your human what it needs to be able to take on a challenge? Are you feeding it properly? Are you hydrating it adequately? Are you minimizing the poison that you give it? Are you giving it rest, repair, and recovery time? Are you allowing it to do things for joy, things that are just interesting? Are you having high quality interactions with other humans? Are you understanding what its purpose and value and sense of contribution is? Does your human have support and do you allow it to get support? Those are foundational. The mindset piece, right? Control what you control. And here's the secret, you control nothing. You control nothing except for you. You control what you think, feel, say, and do. You don't control what anybody else thinks or feels or says or does. You don't control what comes your way. You always have the choice of what to do in the face of what comes your way. And all of that, as we go through life and we're faced with various challenges, so much of resiliency is going to start up here, right? Your mindset, the attitude, all of that. So the willingness to accept and the willingness to learn and grow, and then the willingness to do the hard work, because that is what it's going to be. All right. Gave you a little food for thought there. I'm going to get into the meditation now. I'm going to take myself off camera just so I'm not distracting. And let us get started. So this particular meditation is on strength and resiliency. And here's the description. It is, there might come a time in life that feels like the storm will never let up. The hurdles keep coming and you are tired. You might feel like you've been beaten down and don't see a way up. This meditation is to remind you of your strength, to remind you of your resiliency, to remind you of the greatness within and the power to keep going. So welcome everyone as you settle in for this session. I invite you to find a comfortable seated position, not slouching, but not too rigid. Begin to focus on your breathing, gradually allowing each breath to become slower and deeper. Close your eyes and imagine you are on a tropical island with palm trees all around, breathing in the warm air, filling your rib cage as much as possible with each inhale. Exhale the old, stagnant air that has been bottled inside you for the day. While you continue with this rhythmic breathing, tune into your physical being. If you notice tightness in your muscles, deliberately release the tension. Visualize the energy departing the muscle, moving through your skin, and exiting your body. Take a moment to scan from head to toe. And if you should find your mind wandering back to the events of the day or to the worries of tomorrow, return to your breath and body. Negativity, fear, worry, anger, frustration, anxiety, while totally normal, are often not necessary or helpful. Hanging on to these emotions can keep us from living our healthiest, happiest lives and burn our precious energy for little or no benefit. Pause to connect your physical being with your emotional state. Take this opportunity to reset the mind and the body. As you enjoy your time on this island, you settle under the shade of a palm tree. Allow yourself this chance to be still. There is no need for activity of the mind or the body. While life is quite busy, maybe a bit chaotic, you fully appreciate the calm around you. Embrace the stillness. Absorb it into your core. Notice as your breathing becomes slower and deeper, your muscles fully relax, your thoughts are soft and gentle. Ah, this is pleasant. Peace, calm, stillness, time to just be. Stay here for a while. Just be still. If you notice activity in your mind or body, take a few deep breaths and come back to that quiet place, tucked safely under the shade of the palm tree. As you have been sitting peacefully for a while now, you begin to notice a shift in the environment. The wind has picked up, the palm trees are beginning to sway, the sun is hidden, creating shade all around you. A storm is brewing, and the rain has begun to pelt your legs. With no real shelter in sight, and fearing you will be swept away by the wind and hammered by the rain, you decide to ride it out under this tree. The storm intensifies. The sounds of howling wind, battering rain, and violently whipping palm leaves become deafening. Branches all around you are bending like acrobats. Fear and doubt creep into your mind. Maybe I shouldn't have stayed. What if the storm gets worse? Am I going to be okay? How am I going to get through this? While these thoughts swim in your head, others also emerge. Much like this palm tree whose branches are bending, not breaking, you have the strength and skills to get through chaos. Much like the palm leaves are protecting you from real damage, you have the ability to stay safe and healthy under difficult circumstances. Much like this tree is resilient and will regain its form after the storm, you too will bounce back from adversity. In fact, you feel so confident that you decide to venture out from under the tree. You embrace the rain and stand firm against the forceful wind. While this is not necessarily pleasant, you recognize that being uncomfortable is how you grow. It's how you become stronger and gain confidence. And when the next storm comes, rather than fear and doubt creeping in, you will accept that which has presented in front of you and meet the challenge with strength and grace. Picture that now, you standing in your storm, tall, confident, undeterred. You will emerge with additional skills, new perspective, a higher level of emotional strength and intelligence. You are fully appreciating how truly resilient you are. It is now time to head back. You've enjoyed your time on the island. Yes, you have enjoyed all of it. Not only did you weather the storm, you endured with grace and emerged from it stronger than you began. You are even more grateful for the stillness you enjoyed and understand how valuable that time was. That time for the mind and body to rest allowed for your resilience, to bounce back once the storm has passed. In the next few breaths, begin to wiggle your fingers, maybe your toes. Shrug your shoulders and open your eyes. And before we leave today, take this with you. As the storms of life stir around us and you feel an anxious mind or body begin to swell, take a few deep breaths and visualize your calm, peaceful self, the one enjoying the stillness even in the midst of the storm. Get through the chaos with grace and with the knowledge that you have the strength and skills to come out okay, most likely even better on the other side. Reset, refocus, and move forward in health and happiness. All right, everybody, take a couple of deep breaths. We have plenty of time, so would love to open it up for some questions, comments, anything on resiliency, whether it's to increase your foundational skills the health and habits, the things that will make you a strong, resilient human. Perhaps it's some thoughts or ideas on daily practices you have in place to help you keep those skills sharp. I know for me, attitude of gratitude is a huge one. It's easy to be grateful when things are great. It is necessary to be grateful when things are not great. And I have learned, I embraced this a long time ago, that life is a series of challenges. That's just what it is. And nobody goes through life unscathed. Nobody goes through life unchallenged. And we're all designed to face challenges. Sometimes we don't have that belief in ourselves. Sometimes we maybe don't have the belief that we really can get through something. So we let the fear take over, and that's totally normal. Hopefully, if you are faced with some kind of challenge, you're going to take a deep breath and hit the pause button. Don't allow the fear to let your imagination take you to the worst places, because that's typically where it goes. Very likely that's not going to be the outcome, but we go there anyway. And it takes a lot of effort to redirect the brain, redirect our thoughts to not go there. So if you find yourself in the face of some scary things, I would say arm yourself with knowledge, because generally we fear the unknown. And if we can understand things a little deeper, maybe we'll realize, yeah, I have every right to be afraid. And yet, fear isn't going to change it. So we can own our emotions, acknowledge that it's there, and then decide, okay, but here's what I can do. Because you do have control over what you choose to do. In fact, that's about the only thing you have control over. So when you embrace that and you realize that you have the power to get through the challenges in whatever way you want to, you get to write the story. Anybody have anything they'd like to share before we officially close off? I'm going to share this. I love it. This person had this image standing like a superhero while all the chaos around is happening. I think that's fantastic, because you know what? You are a superhero. We all have a superhero in us. We really do. Often we just don't let it come out because maybe we don't believe it's there, or we just haven't even thought that it might be there. No, we are superheroes, each and every one of us. If we weren't, there would be no need to be here. So the fact that you literally are here on this planet right away makes you a superhero. There is not one human that is like you. Every single human is different. We're all designed differently. We're all the same because we're all humans, but we are all just a little bit different. And those traits that we have within us are what have allowed us to be here. And then maybe some of the traits that each individual recognizes are perhaps a little bit of a gap. We can do a lot to fill the gap, right? That's the beauty of it, is we have a lot of control over how resilient we choose to be. This is great as well. Remind ourselves that we have to find an anchor in times of chaos. That's beautiful. Absolutely. That is why I picked a palm tree for this particular scenario, because you're right. We need to be anchored in some way, whether you anchor in your support system, you anchor in your faith, you anchor in your foundational healthy habits, right? Those anchors are truly what keep you rooted, so that you're not the palm tree that literally the roots get upended and over. So thank you. That's such a beautiful point of recognizing your anchors. And sometimes it's really hard, right? In the face of chaos, it's hard to continue healthy habits. And yet, if I don't continue those, that's not going to help me bounce back from anything. Sometimes in the face of chaos, when other people are going through their chaos as well, we might not want to ask for help or support because we don't want to be a burden to somebody else. Except that perhaps you asking them is giving them a sense of purpose and value and feeling like they're contributing. And that adds to their worth and to their degree of contribution that makes them feel like they matter and they're a superhero for you. So there's so many different elements to this. And, obviously there are different challenges. And for one person, a situation might be incredibly scary and challenging. For another person, that exact same situation might not be that big of a deal. Is it great? No. Would they voluntarily sign up for it? No. Is it that big of a deal? In their mind, it's not. So our perception is our reality, and we'll each do the best we can to match perception with actual reality. But those are things that we learn as we go, and we figure out what works, what doesn't, what was helpful, what wasn't. And then maybe the next time we're faced with a challenge, we do it either the same or differently, right? Because we're all just continuing to learn and grow. That again is what life is. Thank you all for sharing those wonderful pieces of feedback and comments and ideas. Anybody else before we close out? I encourage people to have some kind of personal mantra, right? Because in the face of challenge, the mind is going to go where it goes. That's what it's designed to do. You get to decide if that's helpful. And if it's not helpful, then it's up to you to redirect your thoughts. And I have found that having a couple of phrases or mantras that just reset me are super helpful. One of mine, I'm looking at it because I painted it on a canvas many years ago. It's around the corner in my house in the hallway. It is the phrase, "It's only life after all." That's actually a line from an Indigo Girls song that I loved when I was in college. And that's what I'm like, this is life, right? So when I get into woe is me, it's not fair, why me, I didn't deserve this, says who? Why? Why not? This is life. It's only life after all. What am I going to do with it? So that is one of my phrases that literally it's hanging on my wall. I see it multiple times a day. And it's just a good reminder, right? That we are here to do the best we can with what we've got. And if we feel like maybe we don't have enough to truly do the best we can, then it's up to us to build out the toolbox. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for hopping on today. Look forward to seeing you in a few months again. And if you want to stay connected, you can find me betterbeings.net or my name on LinkedIn. So feel free to connect. I have a podcast, blogs, all the socials, all that good stuff. So would love to stay connected, but at the very least, I hope you go and have a fantastic rest of your day and look forward to the next time we get to share some time.